My beloved child, my heart aches as I speak these words, but the time allotted to you is nearly spent. Each passing second bears the sound of warning. My patience wears thin, and you now stand at the threshold between two seasons, one that has died and another longing to be born. You have clung to the darkness for so long that it has become a familiar comfort. You call your chains memories, and you hold your brokenness as though it were part of your identity. But I have come to tell you it is time to bury the past before it buries you. You were not created to dwell forever in nostalgia or the ruins of what once was. That which you try so hard to preserve, be it pain, wounds, or illusions, has no place in the new chapter I am about to write for your life. You have already passed through that season. Now farewell is not a punishment, it is a gift. Do not see letting go as defeat. Letting go is your agreement to let me lead you to a better place. I never take anything from you without having something more glorious to give, but listen carefully. My child, for this moment must not be treated lightly. If you keep looking back, you will lose the opportunity to step into the destiny I prepared for you before you were ever born. I will not force you, but I cannot wait forever. The door will not remain open indefinitely, and if you stay frozen in delay, barrenness will replace life. This is not a threat, it is a sounding alarm. True love must speak truth, and the truth is this: if you do not leave the past behind, the past will consume you. My child, it is time to release what no longer brings life. There are habits you once leaned on for safety, but now they only wear down your soul. You have lived too long in the cycles of guilt, worry, and doubt. I do not rebuke you for this. I understand why you once needed those things to survive. But, my dear one, I did not design you to live in endless repetition without renewal. I designed you to grow in faith, in love, and in true freedom. I see the wounds you hide, those sorrows you've carefully wrapped and called part of who I am. I know there are things you believe you'll never overcome, but child, I am the healer. I do not ask you to pretend they never happened. I ask you to lay them down, not because they don't matter, but because you matter more. And I have something better for you if you're willing to release what no longer holds life. I know the limits you've placed on yourself, that you're not enough, unworthy, or unable to change, but those are not my words, and they are not the truth. Those limits did not come from me, they came from fear, from lies you've heard for too long and began to believe. Let me tell you the truth: you were made in my image, and within you is the capacity to live a life that is anointed and complete. Don't let old barriers hold you back. I am opening a new door before you. Every day you cling to the old, you delay the new season I long to give you. I am not angry, but I am heartbroken because I know what awaits you if you dare to step out. Freedom, peace, and true joy are waiting on the other side of surrender. You do not walk alone. I will take your hand. Just say yes. Just trust me a little more. You may be surprised, but every pain you've endured has not been in vain. Not a single tear has fallen unnoticed. Not one sleepless night passed without me near. Every trial, every time your heart broke, I have used them all to forge your soul. They are not meaningless scars, they are marks of growth. But now you no longer need to carry every painful memory. They have fulfilled their purpose. I know you've asked, why did I have to go through so much? I never promised a life without pain, but I did promise that no pain would be wasted. Every time you fell and rose again, you learned perseverance. Every time you trusted me in silence, your faith grew stronger. The hard seasons taught you to rely on me, and now you are ready to enter a season of greater fruitfulness. What you thought were endings were only preparations. Every chapter of your life has its purpose, even the ones filled with tears. I am the author of your story, and I do not write meaningless pages. Do not regret what is past, beloved, because each moment had its reason. When you look back, you will see that it was the difficult seasons that brought you to the place you were always meant to be. And now, as a new season begins, you do not need to carry old baggage. All you need is faith. I want you to understand, pain does not always come to stay. Some things were only meant for a season, then they must leave so the new can arrive. If you cling to the old, you will have no room for what I am preparing. You cannot move forward if you keep turning back. You cannot sing a new song while clinging to the old refrain. Every season has its voice, and the new one is calling you, listen, with a heart ready to receive. Do you know the transitions of the soul are essential in the journey of following me? Just as the earth changes spring, summer, autumn, and winter, so too does your spirit pass through seasons of growth, refinement, and restoration. No one remains in one season forever, not even the warmest ones. I did not create you to stay in your comfort zone, but to move from glory to glory. And to do that, you must know when a season has come to an end. There are clear signs what once bore fruit has now withered. Relationships that were once blessings now weigh heavily. This is not failure. It is the gentle whisper of my spirit saying, a new season has come. I do not abandon you in the shift of seasons. I am with you. I am the one who leads them. And if you follow my leading, you will enter a time of refreshing where life is restored, hope is renewed, and you will grow in ways you never imagined. My child, do not fear the transition. I know change can unsettle you, but it is through these very shifts that I fulfill my purpose in your life. Let me guide you across this threshold from the old into the new. I stand right here, arms open, ready to welcome you forward. Don't look back anymore, beloved. Look ahead. A new season is calling your name, and I am the one who leads you into it. My beloved, I would never let you walk through this life without direction. Before you were ever formed in your mother's womb, I had already written a plan for you, not one of chaos, but full of life and hope. You are not the product of chance or blind fate. You are my holy intention, created deliberately in due time and for a good purpose. I did not design you to fail, but to bear fruit, to shine as a light and a testimony to my goodness in this world. Know this, what I have planned for you is never meant to harm you. Though you have faced many storms, and though at times you wondered if I was silent, I have never turned away. Delays are not denials, and detours are not errors. They are pieces of the wise design I am weaving. When you do not understand, trust. When you cannot see, remember I am still at work. I am the faithful one. I do not leave stories half-written. You may wonder, could even my wounds be part of that plan? And I answer you gently, yes, beloved, even your tears are counted. No trial you've endured is meaningless. Every hardship, every season of waiting, every step in the dark, they are the very stones I use to build your firm foundation. I never hurt you without purpose. My love is not shallow, it is refining love, a love that shapes you until you reflect my image. I was with the faithful before you, with Abraham before he had a son, with Joseph in the prison, with David while he was hunted, and with Jesus in Gethsemane. And now I am with you in the confusion, the sleepless nights, and the prayers that seem unanswered. But take heart, my child, for it is in the trial that you are prepared to carry a greater glory. No pain is wasted in my hands, and no path I lead you on is without purpose. And above all, never forget this, my promise is sure. Heaven and earth may pass away, but my word never fails. What I speak will not return empty. It will accomplish what I desire and fulfill the purpose for which I sent it. You do not need to understand everything. You only need to hold on to my word and treasure it in your heart. When the storms rise, anchor your soul in that promise. When the voices of doubt speak, let my word be the loudest sound in your mind. I have promised you hope and a future, not a fragile hope, but a certainty that surpasses all circumstances. Do not let the present blur your vision. Do not let temporary emotions rob you of eternal truth. Every day you place your trust in me, you are stepping closer to all I have prepared. You are not alone in this journey. I am walking with you, and my word is a lamp to your feet and a light to your path. Keep walking, beloved, for what I began in you I will surely bring to completion. My beloved child, I know your heart trembles. I see the fear in your eyes whenever the darkness creeps in and hope seems to fade. But listen to my words, winter will not last forever. Though frost blankets your soul, though everything around you seems to stand still, I am still at work in silence. Just like a seed lying dormant beneath the cold earth, I am nurturing something new within you, preparing you for a season of budding and blooming. Do not fear the silence. Do not panic when you see no results, for dawn is inevitable. You once thought the darkness was the end, but no, darkness is only a veil before light breaks through. The storm does not define your destiny. It only tests your faith and strengthens the roots of your soul. You are not the circumstances you are facing. You are the one I have chosen, called, and sealed with my eternal love. Do not let a painful chapter make you abandon the entire story. What you are facing today will soon become a testimony of how I rescued you. I do not expect you to be strong all the time, but I long for you to rise in faith even when your legs are still trembling. Walk forward even if the path is not yet clear. Keep moving even when the voices inside you say it's over. You don't need to see the whole map. Just take one step and I will show you the next. Faith does not require proof. It simply needs a heart that dares to believe I am the one who keeps promises. My dear child, the light I placed within you cannot be extinguished. Darkness may surround you, but it cannot invade a soul that carries my light. Even if you feel alone, even if your cries for help seem unanswered, one truth remains unchanged. I am there. I never take my eyes off you, never forget what I have spoken. That light is my very presence. Not something you created, but something I have given, and no one can take it away. Let that light become a testimony in the darkest season. Do not hide it out of fear or doubt. Do not let your wounds make you forget who your healer is. Stand, not because you are strong enough, but because I am your strength. Go on, not because the road will be easy, but because you are certain I will never leave your side. Every step of faith brings you closer to the destiny I've prepared for you. My child, the world is full of noise, alluring voices, flashing images, relentless pressure. I see you lost in the midst of it, trying to discern what is true and what is false. But amidst all that chaos, my voice is still calling you, gently, patiently, and without end. I do not shout in crowds. I invite you in stillness, where your soul withdraws from distraction to return to me. Step away from the voices that wear you down and come back to the place where life truly flows. What surrounds you may seem urgent, but not everything urgent is important. I know there are relationships, social media, and endless streams of information flooding your mind each day. That's why you must pause. You cannot hear my voice when you're too busy listening to everything else. Be still, not to escape, but to meet me again. My spirit does not dwell in chaos, but in the secret place, where your soul bows in quiet surrender. You thought I would come in a mighty wind, a thunderous roar, or a blinding miracle. But no, I come as a gentle whisper because I want you to draw near and listen with your heart. You don't need to strive, only to open your heart. My voice does not compete with noise. It waits for you in the quiet moments when you stop, when you bow your head, when you take a deep breath and whisper, my name. I do not hide to make it hard. I hide so you may learn to seek me in truth. Beloved child, I know you once listened to me, but time and life may have pulled you away from that quiet place. Do not blame yourself. I am not angry with you. But I long to speak with you again, like in the early days when your faith was tender and your heart sensitive to my presence. I can only be heard clearly when your spirit is quiet and your soul truly longs for me. Find a place, a corner of a room, a quiet road, or a few minutes in the midst of busyness. I am waiting for you there. Come close to me, dear one, for when you draw near, I will draw near to you. I do not demand rituals or polished words. I only seek a sincere heart, a spirit that thirsts for me. I know you are busy, but do not let the temporary rob you of the eternal. One word from me can change your entire day, your entire life. Return, listen, and cling to me again. For apart from my voice, no other voice can lead you to true life. My beloved, I have never called you to walk alone. Even when you feel isolated among those who don't understand you, or walk through days when no one seems to be on your side, the truth remains, you are never alone. I have placed a community around you, those who are believing, praying, and standing strong with you in the Spirit. And more than that, I have sent angels to guard and uphold you in every path. You may not see them, but they are there, watching over your every step like an invisible army I've appointed for your sake. When you fight in silence, warring angels are fighting alongside you. When you pray with tears, there are unseen intercessions from people you've never met, but who share the same faith. I never let anyone in my family battle alone. Every step you take in faith encourages someone else, even when you don't see the outcome right away. And when you fall, remember, someone will reach out to lift you, and I will send angels so you don't stay down for long. You are part of a mighty army, not a solitary warrior. I want you to know this deeply. You have a unique and irreplaceable role in my eternal story. No one else can live your part. No one else carries your voice, your gifts, your experiences, and your spiritual sensitivity. Everything I've planted in you, your dreams, your passions, even your wounds, are ingredients I will use to fulfill something far greater than yourself. Do not compare yourself to others. They have their role and you have yours. Believe this without your presence. My masterpiece is missing a precious piece. You were not created to live in obscurity, but to live with impact. Whether great or small, it holds eternal value. When you obey, all of heaven rejoices. When you live with gratitude, it calms the storms within and radiates to those around you. When you walk in the joy of being chosen, you bring light into a despairing world. You are not a mistake. You are chosen, empowered, and sent. Every day you live in the purpose I've set for you, the world changes, little by little. My beloved child, this is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of something greater, something holier, a profound transformation I have long been preparing for you in silence. From the very first moment you cried your way into the world, I looked upon you with eyes full of love and divine expectation. Not the expectation of pressure, but that of a father who knows his child was born for a reason. Even when you felt lost, weak, or unseen in this world, I want you to know none of those things ever diminished your true worth in my eyes. You are not a blurred mark on the canvas of humanity. You are a purposeful stroke within my eternal design. I have watched over you not just in your glorious moments, but especially when you fell, when you felt you could not go on. In the long nights when you tossed and turned, searching for a way out, in the times you broke in silence because no one understood I was there. Not a single tear you shed went unnoticed by me. Not one sigh escaped your lips without me hearing it. You thought I was silent, but in truth I was near, quietly keeping you, because some things can only be forged in stillness. And now, as your foundations have been strengthened and your soul begins to more clearly perceive the inner calling, I come to tell you this: the time has come for you to step into your new season. Look back, not to dwell in regret, but to recognize that every step you took bore my fingerprints. The losses, the wounds, the interrupted paths, you may have seen them as pointless, but they have shaped you into someone stronger, deeper, more loving, more compassionate. I do not create pain, but I use even pain to cultivate growth. Just as the soil must be broken for the seed to sprout, your soul had to be stirred for divine life to rise from within. Now you are no longer the confused child standing at life's crossroads. You have grown not only in years, but in spirit. And in this very moment I call you rise from what once held you, from the comfort zones and familiar places. Say goodbye to the things that once bound you, whether fear, shame, or illusions you once clung to. They no longer serve your journey. I did not call you to dwell forever in the cage of memory. I called you to soar higher, farther into the new horizon I destined for you from before time began. You will feel nostalgia that is natural. But my child, do not confuse emotion with truth. Emotion says, the old is safer. But the truth I speak says, the new brings life. You are not born to repeat the same days. You were born to do what has never been done, to live a life of influence, to walk in a role no one else can fulfill. Even if you feel small, it is in your weakness that my power is made perfect. Open your heart, my child. Do not merely gaze at the new season from a distance. Step into it, touch it with your own feet. Do not wait for full clarity to move forward, for faith does not demand full light, only a glimmer to move. I know you are afraid. I know you fear the risk, but it is in those trembling steps that I will take your hand and I will steady your feet. You do not walk alone, you walk with me. Do you remember what I placed in your heart as a child, the dreams you once thought were too big, too distant? They were not illusions, they were whispers from my spirit. They were seeds planted early, and now the time has come for them to rise. Do not let the world's practicality choke your spiritual vision. Do not let the criticisms of others drown out my voice. Let me be the loudest voice in your life. And as you enter this new season, remember this: you do not walk for fame, for recognition, or for immediate results. You walk because of my love for you. You walk because of the unshakable promise I have spoken that I will complete the good work I began in you. When you live in alignment with my calling, you will find a peace the world cannot give and cannot take away. You may think your role is too small, too ordinary, but I tell you, no act of obedience is ever meaningless. A timely word, a loving gesture, a faithful decision made in silence, all have eternal weight. Do not seek greatness with your eyes, live by the eyes of faith, and you will see how the small things you do become part of a greater picture that only I can see in full. You are not just living for today, you are part of a story that stretches into eternity. When you live with the awareness that your life has purpose, you will no longer waste your days. You will live with gratitude because you were chosen. You will live with joy because you are partnering with the Creator in an unbreakable plan, and you will live with impact, not flashy, but enduring. My beloved, this is your time to stand firm in the true identity I have given you. Not as a copy, not as someone else's image, but as yourself, uniquely and divinely crafted by me. I do not need you to be like anyone else. I need you to be you, full of grace, guided by my Spirit, overflowing with my presence. When you embrace your role, when you live in alignment with that calling, all of heaven rejoices, and the world is blessed through your presence. Now, as you stand at the threshold between the old and the new, between the past and the future, I invite you to make a choice. Not a heavy decision, but a grace-filled turning point. You can choose to stay, or you can choose to step into your true destiny. You can continue to live in the familiar cycle, or you can step forward into the unknown land where I await you with love and purpose. I know you may still hesitate, but my child, this moment is sacred. It has not come to pass you by, it has come to be remembered. Do not let delay rob you of a season opened for you. Do not let fear steal your chance to truly live. I stand here, arms wide open, eyes full of tenderness, heart ever turned toward you. Come, my child, step into the new season where there are no chains of the past, no more doubting voices, no more lingering confusion. Let me lead you through unopened doors. Let me renew your soul and set your feet on the path to abundant life. This is not a dream, this is reality in me. And it begins the moment you say yes. You are not alone, you are not forgotten, you are not invisible. You are loved, chosen, and sent, and the future is unfolding before you, not by your power, but by my faithfulness. So now, my child, walk forward, live, accept that your moment has come. My beloved child, this is your moment. Not tomorrow, not when you're more settled, not when you feel ready, but right now. I am calling you out of the old, out of the safe place that no longer brings forth life, and into a new season where grace does not trickle, it overflows. You do not need to wait for fear to leave your heart, because I do not wait for perfection to begin doing great things in your life. It is while your hands still tremble that I will be your strength. It is while your thoughts are still clouded that I will be your guiding light. I know you have stumbled. I know there are mistakes you wish no one would ever bring up again. But child, I do not write your story with the ink of the past. I write it with the blood of forgiveness, with mercy that is new every morning. What you thought was the end in my hands will become a new beginning. Do not confine yourself to your past failures. Do not listen to the voice that says you've missed your chance, that it's too late. For as long as I am still calling your name, there is still time, still hope, and still a new season prepared just for you. I did not create you to merely survive. I created you to live a life of meaning. You were not made just to work, go home, and repeat. You were born to carry eternal impact, to be a vessel through which my love and truth flow into this world. Every step you take, every word you speak, every unseen act done in the quiet, it all matters when it is given to me. And within you I have placed unique seeds, compassion, kindness, faith, wisdom that no one else carries quite like you. This world doesn't need more perfection. It needs authenticity, those who dare to be vulnerable before me, that I may show my strength through them. You don't have to hold it all together. I did not call you to be a hero. I called you to be mine, to live true to your identity in me. And from that place, I will do what no one expects. You will never walk this journey alone. I am always with you, not only going ahead to clear the way, but walking beside you to strengthen and behind you to lift you up when you fall. My presence is not a fleeting feeling. It is an eternal promise. When you don't feel me, I am still there. When you weep, I hold every tear. When you are silent, I still hear. When you lose your way, I still lead, not by shouting, but through the gentle whisper in your spirit. I know you are fighting battles that others cannot see. Unanswered questions, hidden disappointments, growing pressures. But pause for a moment and look to me. I never place you in a situation without equipping you with what you need to go through it. What you see as barriers, I will turn into bridges. What you carry as burdens, I will turn into lessons to make you stronger. Nothing is wasted in my hands, not even the things that make you want to give up. Lift up your head, dear one. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. You are not insignificant in my eyes. I see you, I call you, I choose you, and I have never regretted that choice. Even when others doubt you, even when you doubt yourself, I still trust you because I know exactly what I placed within you. And I never give someone a calling without also giving them the power to walk it out. Remember, you are not just a small individual among the masses. You are an essential part of something far greater, a story that stretches beyond this fleeting earthly life. You are a key character in the eternal purpose I have written from the beginning of time. No one else can take your place in that plan. No one else can speak your words, reach the hearts you are meant to touch. If you remain silent, there will be a gap in the unfolding of my will, not because I am lacking, but because I have chosen you as a part of how my purpose is carried out on earth. Do not diminish yourself. Do not wait for someone else's approval to live the life you were made for. My affirmation is worth more than all the world's applause, and you have already been affirmed not by your performance but by the blood of my Son. Live as one who is anointed. Act as one who is appointed. Speak as one who carries eternal life within. For truly you are carrying the glory of the Almighty in your heart. If you feel lacking, it is in that very place that I can use you most powerfully. If you feel weak, that is your opportunity to see my power made perfect. If you feel ordinary, it is because I am about to do something extraordinary through you. I often choose what the world sees as weak to surprise the strong. I choose what is despised to humble the proud. And you, my child, are part of that divine reversal, a tool in my hand, soft yet strong, humble yet filled with authority. You may not change the entire world, but you can change someone's world. A word you speak, a loving gesture, a steadfast faith can be the light that leads someone through their darkest night. I have placed in you a light that cannot be extinguished, no matter how fierce the winds of this world. I do not need you to shine by striving. I need you to stay close to me, for the light you carry is mine. Live close to me, and the world will know you belong to the light. And if you fear you are not enough, remember, I am your enough. If you fear failure, know that I do not measure you by success, but by obedience. If you fear going unseen, remember I have known you, named you, and loved you, long before anyone else did. What I have for you is not based on the applause of the crowd, but grounded in unshakable eternal love. My child, this is not just a phase. This is an invitation, a calling to step out of retreat, out of the gray zone, and into a life that is clear, full, and fruitful. Not because you want to do something big, but because I am doing something big through you. Step forward, trust, live like someone on a mission, because truly you are, and no one else can fulfill that mission for you. I am waiting not to accuse, but to walk with you, not to judge, but to lift you up, not to love if, but to love always. You are mine forever, and when you walk with me, nothing is impossible. So rise, my beloved child, for a new season is waiting, and I am going before you with every step, every moment, every breath. My beloved child, I see you standing at the threshold of something new. Your heart pounds a mixture of anticipation and hesitation. I understand, It's never easy to leave behind what's familiar, even when it has brought you pain and burden. You've worn a garment that no longer fits for far too long, clinging to it out of fear of the emptiness that might come with change. I do not blame you. I see every movement within your soul, every whisper you haven't dared to speak aloud. I know because I have always been there. Change is never easy. It asks you to let go of what no longer belongs to you in order to step into a land you've never known. This is a walk of faith, not of sight. But because of that, it holds the power to transform you. You are not called to merely survive each day. You are called to live a life of purpose, influence, and eternal meaning. And that can only begin when you agree to say goodbye to the past and embrace what I am preparing for you. Remember the first steps you took with me when you did not yet understand but still chose to trust. When you were small and fragile but still followed me despite your fears. I never promised it would be easy, but I did promise to always be with you, and I have never broken that promise. There may be times you don't feel my presence, but not for a single moment have I taken my eyes off you. When you fell, I was there. When you grew weary, I upheld you. When you thought there was nothing left to hope for, I rekindled the fire within your heart. I want you to know this: if you are still breathing, you still have a mission. Nothing you've walked through has been by accident. No trial has been meaningless. Every scratch upon your soul, every silent tear, I have gathered them all into the folds of my loving robe. I do not wound you to test you, but at times I allow you to pass through fire, not to harm you, but to strip away what does not belong. And with each season I am shaping you not to wear you down, but to prepare you for greater glory ahead. You once asked me, why me? And I tell you this because you are an irreplaceable part of the greater story I am writing. I did not choose you because you are flawless, but because your heart is tender and willing to listen. I could use anyone, but I chose you. Because I see in you a faith waiting to be awakened, a love ready to be unleashed, and a light capable of shining into places no one has yet dared to go. I do not need you to be strong, I only need you to obey. And in that obedience you will discover the true strength I have placed within you. You are not alone on this journey. Beyond me there are countless angels watching over you, and a community of faith quietly interceding, encouraging, and walking beside you. Every time you feel weak, someone is lifting you in prayer. Every time you feel invisible, I am gazing at you with tender hope. You are not just a small figure in a vast crowd. You are the one I named, called, and sealed with my own life and resurrection. That is an unshakable truth, no matter what season you find yourself in. And now, when I say, step into the new season, I say it not with command, but with the eager invitation of a father with open arms. I know you may still hesitate, but I also see the seed of courage growing in your heart. Just one decision, and you will see the heavens shift. You don't need to know everything. You only need to say, yes, I'm willing. I will handle the rest. I will grant you wisdom when you need it, provision when you are weak, and peace beyond understanding when you feel lost. I am calling you to live the true life, not a copy of someone else's, not a version defined by the world, but a path crafted uniquely by me, full of purpose and my presence. I want you to lift your head, look into my eyes, and realize there is still so much ahead of you. Everything you've endured, both sorrow and triumph, has only been preparation. Like a master craftsman who wastes nothing, I will use every fragment to create something no one ever imagined. And it waits for you just beyond one decision to leave the old and live in the new. There will be hard days, I won't hide that. There will be moments you question yourself, feel tired, and want to stop. But when that happens, remember you are not walking alone. Recall the times before when you thought you'd reach the end, but something miraculous happened. That was not coincidence. That was me. And I will do it again and again until the good work I began in you is brought to perfect completion. Live each day with gratitude, not just for what you already have, but for what you have yet to see, knowing it is surely coming. Let the joy of being chosen by me become your strength. Live with clear purpose, knowing that every word, every action, every small decision carries weight beyond yourself. Do not underestimate the seeds you are sowing. Some will not sprout right away, but they are taking root quietly in my presence. My dear one, I know your heart still holds many questions. But do not let those questions hinder your obedience. Don't wait until everything is clear before you move forward, for I have not called you to live by sight but by faith. And faith is not a feeling, it is a choice to trust in me, the one who never changes, the one who began a good work in you and will complete it to the very end. When you obey, all of heaven rejoices. When you dare to walk, miracles begin to unfold. Now look back on your journey not with regret but with gratitude. Everything you've walked through is proof of my faithfulness, and what lies ahead is proof that I am still working. Do not hesitate any longer. Do not cling to the old out of fear that the new will not be enough. I am the Creator, I never repeat myself, and what I am about to do will be greater than what has been. You only need to believe. So my child, step forward. Live your full part in the story I am writing. Be brave, be grateful, and rejoice, for you are chosen, you are loved, and you are sent. This is your season. This is your moment. And I, your God, will walk with you, not just part of the way, but every step to the very end. My child, when you dare to lift your head and move forward, even with hesitation in your heart, I see something awakening within you, a small but unquenchable flame. It is the spark of destiny, the silent yet powerful response your soul gives to the call of heaven. And I want you to know every step you take, however slow, trembling, or faltering, is seen, cherished, and upheld by me. Do not think I expect perfection from you. I know you are but dust, yet it was I who breathed into that dust to make it alive. It is my breath in you that allows you to rise again every time life tries to bring you down. And even now I am breathing into you life, empowerment, strength, and grace from above. Not a single step you take is taken alone when you dare to believe that I am walking with you. Hold your heart steady. Life will continue to change. There will be seasons that bring laughter, and there will be seasons that come with unnamed tears. But I do not change. I am not swayed by emotion, circumstance, or time. I am the Eternal One, present before all beginnings and remaining beyond all ends. This means you can anchor your heart in me like a rock amidst the raging sea of life. My presence is not only for peaceful days, it manifests most powerfully in the midst of storms. When you have no more words to pray, I still hear the whisper of your heart. When you have no more strength to praise, I still receive each sigh as a sacred offering. That is when you realize I do not love you for what you do, but because you are my child. And when you let go of what once was, you will hear my voice more clearly, no longer clouded by illusions, no longer confused between the noise of the world and the voice of your Creator. Then I will reveal more to you, not a sealed plan, but piece by piece, step by step, like light breaking through a misty morning path. I do not tell you everything to force belief, but I show you just enough to invite faith. Do not be afraid when the path I lead you on looks nothing like what you imagined. I have not called you to walk the familiar way, but to tread where none have gone, so that you will know this journey is initiated by me, not drawn by your own hand. You may not understand, but I see the end from the beginning, and all that I am doing now is to unfold something far greater, a part of the grand design of redemption in which you are an essential piece. Remember this, nothing about you is insignificant. Every life I create holds purpose, and every soul is positioned in time for a divine reason. I have placed within you unique gifts, abilities, circumstances, and a story, not for hiding, but for shining, illuminating, and translating the eternal into this temporary world. When you step into your rightful place, all of heaven is moved. Do not measure your worth by the recognition of others. What you do quietly in hidden places I see with perfect clarity. The sacrifices no one else notices, I remember every detail. When you forgive, when you choose love over bitterness, when you are faithful in the smallest task, you are contributing to an eternal story that only eternity will reveal in full. You are not living to impress, you are living to reveal my presence in every small act. And my child, do not be afraid to dream. The dreams that arise from gratitude, faith, and love are not figments of your imagination. They are seeds I have planted within your heart. Water them with prayer. Nurture them with my word. dare to believe that what I have placed in you is not foolishness but a calling, and I take responsibility for bringing it to completion. Do not choke those dreams just because others do not understand. If your heart stays aligned with me, I will bring you to the right place at the right time. You do not need to race anyone, for your course is uniquely designed. Do not let the speed or distance of others discourage you. You do not know the burdens they carry, and they do not know the nights you've walked through. Fix your eyes on me, not on what's around you. As long as your eyes remain on me, you will never lose your way. And as long as your heart still hears my voice, you will know when to go, when to pause, when to wait, and when to press on. I have placed companions beside you, perhaps not many, but enough to lift you when you are weary. Hold fast to fellowship. Do not isolate yourself, for isolation is fertile ground for doubt and sin to grow. When you walk with those who share your faith, you will be encouraged, healed, and reminded of your original purpose. And when you do this for others, you become my hands reaching into this world. My child, live not just to survive, but to make an impact. Let your words carry life. Let your eyes reflect compassion. Let your hands be instruments of healing. And let your heart always beat for the pain of others, just as mine once beat for you. Every day you live according to the purpose I've placed in you, the darkness is pushed back just a little more. Know this, even if you do not see fruit today, the seeds you sow are never wasted. Some results will come after many years, and some words you speak today will bear fruit in hearts years down the line. I do not measure success as the world does. I measure it by obedience and faithfulness. If you continue to live rightly, even if no one applauds you, I will be the applause that echoes in your soul, for I delight in you. And finally, my child, remember that this life is not all there is. There is a homeland waiting for you, where there are no more tears, no more death, no more regrets. But while you are still here, live fully. Do not waste time. Do not live halfway. Love with your whole heart. Serve with all your soul. Forgive completely, and trust me in all things. For one day when you finish your race, you will hear me say, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have done well." That is the greatest reward, not fame, wealth, or power, but the loving gaze of mine upon you, affirming that you have lived rightly within my eternal design. So, my child, go on. Do not look back. Do not turn away. Do not lose your simple heart just because the world is complex. Live as one who is chosen, called, and sent, for that is who you are. And I, the Lord your God, will be with you every day, every hour, until your mission is complete. Beloved child, I know these days weigh heavily on you. I know that each morning you must summon every bit of strength just to go on while your heart longs only to give up. The storm around you shows no signs of calming. Waves crash from both the outside world and the depths of your soul, leaving you to question even the truths you once held firm. But oh, my child, do not let your heart grow weary at the howling of the wind, for it is not the final truth. It is only a passing sound. Just as the darkness may conceal the sky but can never erase the sun, so too the storms of your life cannot obscure the plan I am quietly unfolding. You wonder if I've forgotten you, if my silence means I've turned away from your cries. No, my beloved, I am right there with you, in every tear-streaked second, in every quiet panic that stirs within. Not a single whisper of yours goes unheard. Not a single moment of your exhaustion escapes my notice. When others may turn their backs, when the world stops listening, it is I who draw closer like a father cradling his trembling child through a cold and sleepless night. You are not abandoned. You are being carried in my mighty arms, even if you do not see it. Understand this. The storm is not the definition of your life, but merely a part of your journey. I will never leave you in the fire forever. I allow its heat only enough to refine you, never to destroy you. What you are enduring is not a sign of my absence, but proof that you are being shaped. The current tempests are not the end, but the tremble before a new season is born. And it is in the darkest nights that you will learn to hear my voice the clearest. Remember, the earth keeps turning, even when your eyes cannot perceive its motion. Winter always yields to spring. It is an unchangeable law, for I, myself, established it. Likewise, your circumstances are not standing still. The barren, bitter days will not last forever. Do not let the temporary steal your eternal hope. Do not let a dark season make you forget the light that once shined. You need only to hold fast, to cling to the truth that the dawn will come, and I am that dawn. When you feel weak, that is not failure. It is the opportunity for my power to be made perfect in you. When you have nothing left to lean on, it is then you'll learn to lean on me. You do not need to understand every reason for the storm's arrival. You only need to know that I am still steering your ship. When the waters rush in, don't look down, look up. When the wind shakes, you call to me, and I will come. I am not a distant God who watches from afar. I am the one who walks upon the waters in the midst of the storm. I do not avoid the tempest, I enter it with you. Just as I was with Daniel in the lion's den and shut their mouths, just as I was with the 3 friends in the blazing furnace, I did not extinguish the fire, but I was there, and the fire could not consume them. And as with Jonah, I turned the belly of the fish into a place of transformation, a beginning, not an end. Listen to me, my child. I am not afraid to enter the deepest, fiercest places to bring you out. I am the one who calms the seas with a word, the one who makes the desert bloom and brings flowers from barren sticks, the one who turns graves into the birthplace of resurrection. And with you, I am doing it still, every day, every hour, every moment your heart turns toward me. I do not promise you a life without turbulence, but I promise that in every battle you will never be alone. I do not say you will never weep, but I promise I will wipe your tears. I do not say you will never stumble, but I guarantee my hand will always be there ready to lift you. Let me be your refuge. When the world grows loud and fearsome, run to me, the unshakable peace. Do you see how far you've come? You may have crawled, you may have taken wrong turns, but you are still here. And that is not by your strength, it is because I have held you. If I've held you this far, I will not let go tomorrow. What begins in my hand is never undone by circumstances. No darkness is deep enough to extinguish the light I placed within you. No enemy is strong enough to undo the destiny I have written for you. So, my dear one, do not let go. Do not let weariness steal your voice. Do not let sorrow close your heart. Let my call pierce through the storm and soothe your soul. You do not have to fight to prove your worth. You only need to stand firm, for you are chosen, you are loved, and you are held fast in my hand. And when the storm subsides, when the new day breaks, you will look back and see clearly that I was always there, not as a bystander, but as a father walking beside you. Every wound will become a testimony of healing. Every pain will be transformed into praise. And you who once thought yourself fallen will rise to become a shelter for others, still caught in the storm. My precious child, when the storm crashes and your sight is blurred by tears, by whispers of doubt, by unnamed losses, I want you to lift your head, not to ignore the pain, but to remember that your destiny is not held by circumstances, but by me. I am the one who called you out of the darkest depths into the light, and that light, once kindled by my hand, cannot be extinguished by any wind. I know there are moments when it feels like your life's purpose has shattered into fragments, that the things you trusted now feel out of reach. But hear me, child, the purpose I placed within you never changes, whether you're standing on mountaintops or crawling through valleys. The changes around you cannot alter what I've written in eternity. And if you still have breath, if your heart still beats, then your mission is not over. Do not let yourself forget that. When the waves rise, when the shouting world drowns out, my gentle voice, seek the stillness. In that stillness I will remind you that your direction does not come from what you see, but from the one who never changes. Even when your eyes are blurred with tears, I see the path ahead clearly. Even when your heart shakes with fear, I remain the solid rock where you can anchor your soul. Remember, my child, I never promised a life without trials. But I did promise that in the midst of every trial you would never be forsaken. The battles you fight today are not signs of defeat, but essential steps in your refining. Just as gold is purified by fire, so are you being refined, not to destroy you, but to make you more precious than ever. Sometimes I allow great winds not to capsize your boat, but to teach you how to release the oars and let me steer. The long, drenching rains I permit are not meant to drown you, but to water the seeds of life I planted in you from the beginning. I allow nothing to touch your life without purpose, and that purpose is always wrapped in perfect love and wisdom, my beloved child. There are seasons when everything you once trusted is tested, your faith is shaken, your patience wears thin, hope feels like it's slipping away, and yet it is in these very moments that I am doing my deepest work within your soul, tearing down what is no longer stable to build a foundation that cannot be moved. Do not fear when things fall apart, for only on level ground can I establish something new and unshakable. I want you to see what is sometimes hidden from the natural eye, that you are being shaped for glory. Every crack within you will become a passage for my light to shine through. Every limitation you once resented will stand as evidence of my boundless power. And when you look back, you will understand that the days you thought were wasted were in fact the days I was breaking the bread and dividing the portion, preparing you for the greater feast in the season to come. You were not created to dwell in darkness. I have placed my light within you, and that light is not subject to external conditions. It is not a fleeting light, but an eternal one, radiating from my living presence inside of you. The world may try to extinguish it with disappointment, criticism, or loss, but the closer you draw to me, the brighter that light becomes. So do not hesitate to take the next step, even when you cannot clearly see where it leads. Do not shrink back from the challenge, for it is not a sign that you are on the wrong path, but possibly the very proof that you are on the right one. The enemy does not target those who pose no threat. It strikes those who carry powerful weapons. And you, my child, are a vessel I have refined to carry the influence of heaven. As you walk by faith, you are not walking for yourself alone. You are paving a way for those behind you. There are eyes upon you, hoping that through your footsteps they might find their own light. Every time you refuse to give up, you become a living testimony of my faithfulness. And that my child is more beautiful than any glory this world could ever offer. I know you may feel weary. Perhaps you've prayed many times and have yet to see the answer. But be at peace, for no prayer is ever lost. They are like seeds sown in the valley, destined to bloom in the season I have appointed. I do not forget, I do not ignore, and I am never late, though it may seem so. Every word spoken in faith is painting a picture that you will see more clearly as the new season dawns. So, my beloved, do not lose sight in the storm. Close your eyes if you must, but do not let go. Cry out if you need to, but do not walk away from me. Slow your pace if you are tired, but do not stop. Your purpose is greater than the pain you are enduring. And I, the one who called you, will surely complete the work I have begun in you. One day you will look back, not with bitterness, but with deep gratitude. You will see that the darkness did not dim the light, but made it shine all the more brilliantly, that the trials did not steal your identity, but revealed what was truly within. And when that season arrives, the season of breakthrough, restoration, and abundance, you will bow your head and whisper, "Lord, thank you for not leaving me in the storm." My beloved child, do not be quick to reject or despise the season you're in simply because it doesn't look like what you hoped for. Even if you feel exhausted, confused, or lost amidst things you can't explain, stop for a moment, take a deep breath, and remember that no season is meaningless in my hands. Every stage, even the barren, the painful, holds a divine purpose. I do not waste time. I use it to shape you. You may be in a season where everything seems to be against you. Doors are closing. Promises remain unfulfilled. Your spirit is weary, and you begin to wonder, "Where are you, Lord?" But child, I have never left. Sometimes my silence is not absence, but the deepest presence. A quiet presence working within your soul, preparing the way for something far greater than your eyes can perceive. I am teaching you patience. Not the kind that endures in bitterness, but the kind born of faith. The kind that trusts that even when you can't see, I am still moving. Like a seed buried deep in the soil, life is stirring within, though invisible to you, and that does not mean it isn't real. The waiting season, the silent season, the fruitless season are all hiding places where miracles are slowly forming. Do not fear what seems like unproductive time. These are the refining fires, the waiting rooms of maturity. Do not wish for me to pull you out too soon, for if the time is not yet right, you will enter the next season with wings not strong enough to carry the weight. It is your perseverance through hardship that makes you capable of carrying glory in the next. Sometimes the miracle is not in the trial disappearing, but in you still standing, still worshiping, still obeying, still believing, even when nothing has yet changed. Remember, my beloved, that I am the one who holds all seasons. No season lasts longer than I allow. Spring will come, and it will not be late. But until then, let your roots grow deeper in me. Let me refine you in the quiet. Silent preparation is often the sign of a loud calling. I do not need everyone to see you growing. I only need you to know that you are being made ready. And when everything around you seems unfavorable, lift your eyes. Don't fix your gaze on the storm. Fix it on me. I am the one who never changes. When the world shakes, I remain unshaken. When your heart is restless, I am peace. When you feel too small for the battle, remember you are leaning on the one who holds the entire universe, and he is calling you by name. I am the one who spoke light into the void, the one who set the sea in its place and hung the earth upon nothing, the one who heard the cries of my people in distress and parted the waters so they could walk through, the one who brought water from dry rock and made the desert bloom, the one who fed thousands with a few loaves and fish, and there was still more than enough. The one who raised the dead, gave sight to the blind, upheld the weary, and ultimately conquered death through resurrection. And I am the same, one who lives, moves, and performs wonders in you today. I do not change, and my word never fails. No matter how uncomfortable the season you're in, know this: it is not your destiny. It is the hallway leading to your destiny. You are not stuck. You are being led. Not every closed door is a rejection. Some are protection from what is not yet time. So pause and reflect. What you call delay may actually be mercy. What you call being lost may be the exact path required to reach higher ground. And what you call the end may only be the beginning of a whole new chapter. I am not leading you astray. I am leading you deeper. And the deepest places are often where the most enduring fruit is born. My dear child, in this season, learn to listen to me more than you listen to your own heart. Emotions are fleeting, but my words are eternal. You may not feel my presence, but I do not rely on feelings to prove my faithfulness. I am there in the silence, in the tears, in your most weary moments. If you would just listen, you would hear me whisper, "Do not be afraid, I am here." And when you begin to hear that voice, everything will start to change, not because your circumstances have changed, but because you have. Your spirit will no longer be swayed by what your eyes see, but will be strengthened by what you believe. And in that belief, you will rediscover the joy you thought was lost, the hope you believed had died, and the purpose you thought no longer existed. I have never forgotten you, nor have I ever abandoned what I began in you. If I have begun it, I will bring it to completion. Now I call you, do not fear this season. Do not try to escape it, and do not rush to end it. Stay, learn what I long to teach you. Open your spirit and listen for the lessons carved into each day. Let me heal the places you've been afraid to face. Let me rebuild from the rubble something strong, beautiful, and eternally valuable. Believe that after the darkness, light will come. After the long night, dawn surely breaks. No winter lasts forever, and no trial is greater than my love for you. Every season has its appointed time, and yours is nearing its end. Something great awaits you, not because you deserve it, but because I am faithful. So, my beloved, take a deep breath, and do not let fear keep you from the preparation I am working in you. Walk forward with the faith that I am the author of your story, leaving out not a single detail. And when this chapter ends, a new one will begin with light, with restoration, and with a soul matured in faith, steadfast in calling, and strong in my love. My beloved child, when it feels like everything is slipping through your fingers, when your prayers seem to fall short of heaven, and when the darkness in your soul is so heavy that you can no longer see the way out, it is in those very moments that I am closer than ever. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. Every trembling breath, every tear that falls in silence, I see them all. Nothing about you is too small for my care, and no pain too deep for me to bear. I am the Lord your God, the one who is able to do exceedingly more than all you ask or imagine. But my child, the greater wonder is this: I do not act simply because I can, but because I desire to for you. I am not distant, not indifferent, and not waiting for you to become good enough. I am already fighting for you in the unseen, even when you don't know it, and I am opening paths even where it seems no way exists. When everything in you says it's time to give up, let my promise be the final voice in your heart. I have spoken, and I am the one who never breaks a promise. I promised never to leave you. I promised that all things, whether good or painful, pleasant or bitter, would be worked together for your good. I promised you a future, not destruction, a living hope, not endless despair. My promises are not written in ink. They are etched in love, sealed with covenant blood, and upheld by my eternal power. They do not waver with human emotion, do not change with the weather, and are not shaken by circumstance. They are yes and amen. They are the rock beneath your feet, the shelter over your head, and the light that guides you through the night. Hold on to them, beloved. Let them be the anchor for your soul in the storm. And when your heart feels weak, call out to me. Do not hesitate. Do not think you must be okay before you come. I do not seek perfect prayers. I seek honest hearts. Whether it's a broken whisper, a sobbing cry, or just a desperate upward glance, I understand them all. I am near to the brokenhearted, and I save the soul weighed down by unseen burdens. When you don't know what to pray, simply pour out your heart before me. Hold nothing back. I am not afraid of your anger, your confusion, or even your silence filled with disappointment. I can carry it all. Let your tears become seeds. One day they will blossom into comfort. Let your sighs become a silent psalm, and your surrender, even wordless, become a declaration of faith stronger than any sermon. You are not alone in the storm. I am not watching from afar. I am with you right here, right now, where you stand. And no storm, however fierce, can pull you from my hand, because when I hold you, I never let go. I know you are tired. I know there are days when you wish you could disappear. But here is my encouragement to you: do not stop doing good, even when you see no result yet. The seed of faith does not always sprout quickly, but it will bear fruit in its appointed time if you do not give up. Keep doing what is right, not for others, but because I see it. Your faithfulness, even in the smallest things, will never be forgotten. When you love others while your own heart aches, when you forgive with tears in your eyes, when you choose silence over revenge, those are the moments you resemble me the most. That is when the darkness must retreat, because you are reflecting my light. I see your labor. I hear every whispered prayer, and not a single act of love done in reverence for me will ever be in vain. My child, do not give up. Though the world may spin wildly, though criticism may roar, though weariness may press heavy, I am walking with you. No step you take is wasted. No, yes, however small, goes unnoticed by me. When you choose obedience in the face of uncertainty, heaven opens. You will never fail as long as you cling to my hand. And even when you let go, I will still hold you. When you fall, I will lift you. When you wander, I will seek you. When you are weak, I will be your strength. Everything you cannot do, I will do in your place. But the one thing I wait for from you is a heart that stays with me. Beloved, if you've been waiting for a sign to keep going, this is it. I am speaking to you today. Do not stop. I am not finished with you. What I began in your life, I will complete. Nothing, no person, no problem, no situation can stop what I have ordained. Rise even with a weary heart. Walk on, even if the path is still unclear, for I, your God, have promised, and I never break my promise. My beloved child, when the final light of dawn begins to rise after long, dark days, you will come to realize the long night was never wasted. It was the very place where your soul was forged. What I allowed you to go through was never meant to break you, but to deepen you, strengthen you, and make you a bearer of light to those still wandering in their own night. Do not hastily forget the lessons of the darkness, my child. That was where you learned true humility, where your faith was tested, and where you found my presence not through emotion, but through unshakable trust. Let the days when you collapsed and thought you couldn't rise again be the testimony of my faithfulness. Let the pain you once carried become compassion for others. Do not be ashamed of the scars, they are proof that you fought and that I won the battle for you. Look back at the storm not with fear, but with gratitude. Because it was there you experienced me as the one who never abandons. And it was there that you were prepared for greater things, things that are now very near waiting for you to step into them. My dear one, I know you are weary. I know there are days when you no longer know what you're living for, when everything around you seems to be falling apart. But I want you to know this. The season you're going through is not where you will stay. It is a stretch of the journey, not the destination. And even while the skies remain unclear, take my hand. Let me be your support in your faltering steps, in the days of gloom, and in the moments when you need someone to understand you without explanation. When the storm rises, do not panic, lift your eyes to me. I do not promise you won't get wet or be knocked down by the wind, but I promise I will always lift you up, wipe away your tears, and whisper into your heart, you are not alone. Your steps are not aimless. Each one is an act of faith. Each one a response to my calling. And every time you choose to trust rather than doubt, to stay rather than turn away, you grow into the spiritual identity I have destined for you. Let me remind you, not with empty words, but with my presence, that you are chosen, beloved, kept, and led. I know every breath you take, every time you force a smile while your heart is breaking. Nothing about you is unfamiliar to me. I knew you before you knew yourself. Every cell of your body I have intricately woven. You are my handiwork, not a mistake, but a masterpiece, marked by divine fingerprints, created for an eternal purpose. Rise up, my child. Do not wait until you feel strong enough to move forward, for strength does not precede the step, it comes as you dare to take it, and I will walk with you. I will not only accompany you, but lift you when you stumble, be the voice that calls through the noise, and the flame still burning in your heart through the winter cold. I do not love you because you are perfect. I love you in your brokenness, and it is this very love that will heal, restore, and usher you into your destiny with deep gratitude. And when winter passes, when the sky turns the color of new life, you will see that every wait was not in vain. You will see that though you thought you had missed many opportunities, I was in fact preserving the best for my appointed time, which is your time. Seasons of waiting are never wasted. They are the moments when I build roots. And without deep roots, a tree cannot bear lasting fruit. You are being prepared not for the temporary, but for a season of fruitfulness beyond your greatest dreams. Now open your heart wide. Do not shrink back in fear. Do not let past disappointments keep you from receiving the new. Let me sweep the dust from your soul, the memories that weary you, the wounds not yet healed, and the words that once made you doubt yourself. I long to establish a new identity in you, not one based on your past, but grounded in my truth. You are a child of the King, a bearer of light, a sent one. And then, my precious children, when you hear my voice, do not delay. Trust, respond, open your heart. For I am blessing your lives today, not with things you can measure, but with eternal gifts that can never be taken from you. Gifts no one can steal: true life, unshakable joy, peace beyond understanding, and a clear, sacred purpose. I know each of your names. I do not call you strangers. I call you beloved children. Not one of you is overlooked by my gaze. None of you walk through life unseen by me. I know you. I understand you. And I am with you from the first light of morning to the last breath at dusk, from hesitant beginnings to your final moments on this earth. So be of good courage. The dawn is coming. The storm will calm. And your heart, if anchored in me, will never tremble at the shifting tides of the world. Stand firm in my love, my child, for I am your stronghold. I am the one who never changes. And you are the reason I still call, still wait, and still walk beside every step you take. The day you fully step into what I have prepared, that will be the day heaven sings. My beloved child, as I have said and say again, every season will pass. Every night will come to its end, and every storm, no matter how fierce, cannot last forever. So now in this very moment, I pour out my blessing upon your life. Not because you have done everything right, but because I love you with an unconditional love. Not because you have never been weak, but because I am your strength. Open your heart, my child, and receive what I give, not with doubt, but with the simple faith of a child who believes their father's word. I bless you with a faith that cannot be shaken, even when the world around you quakes. I give you a faith not born of sight, but of the deep knowing that I am real and I do not change. When the things you once clung to begin to fade, when the ground beneath you shakes, I remain the steadfast. One, a strong refuge, a firm fortress shade in the scorching day and fire in the cold night. Do not be afraid of your weakness, for it is in your weakness that my power is made perfect. My child, there will be moments when the storm feels like everything is about to fall apart. Waves of doubt will crash into your mind. Does God still hear my prayers? Am I still loved? But I say this to you. My child, I have never left your side. I still hear, still see, and still hold your hand even when yours grows limp. When you find yourself falling, look up, for I am standing there reaching out, saying, "Rise, my love. I am still here, and if you cannot rise, I will carry you in the same hands that bore the nails for your sake." I bless you with inner steadiness, not a hard shell of fear, but a deep peace rooted in trust in me. I give you the understanding that every night has a morning, and you don't need to create the light. Only wait, for I am the dawn who arrives right on time. My promises are never late. Though the skies may seem dim, I am preparing the brilliant horizon of your new day. No night comes without the promise of light. O child, anchor your heart in this. Let the truth of who I am fill every crack in your spirit that fear and despair once claimed. Let hope become the underground river that steadies you, even when the ground trembles. And let my love, unchanging, eternal, be the armor that wraps your soul each day. In all things, in joy or hardship, remember you are chosen, loved, and never forsaken. I bless you with a spirit that is strong yet tender, a heart brave enough to walk through the unknown, yet soft enough to feel the gentle leading of my spirit. I grant you wisdom beyond worldly knowledge, so you may discern what is true and walk in light amidst a world of falsehood. I give you peace not from control, but from surrendering fully into my hands. Because only when you no longer need to understand everything can you trust me completely. Receive this gift not with trembling hands of doubt, but with arms wide in faith. There is nothing you need to do to earn it, for my blessing is the outflow of love, not a reward for performance. I do not bless you because you've done enough. I bless you because you are mine, and what I have begun in you, I will bring to completion in my time, in my way, for my glory. May every step you take be soaked in my guidance. May every decision flow from the wisdom I provide. May each new morning remind your heart, I am still here, still loving you, as I did in the beginning and forever will. When you are discouraged, remember that I never tire. When you are lost, remember that I am the way. When you are silent, I am still the word. When you see nothing, I am still preparing everything. So receive it, do not delay. This blessing is not a dream nor someone else's portion. It is yours. You are not disqualified. You are not forgotten. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not too weak. You are the one I love, the one I've chosen to carry light, to live with purpose, and to walk in the abundant life I have given. And in all things, whether great or small, whether seen or hidden, I will be the strength behind you, the light before you, and the love that surrounds you. You do not fight alone. You do not walk in lack. You do not need to become someone else, for who you are as you are is who I have chosen to reveal my glory. O child, walk forward with joy, with gratitude, and with the firm confidence that you are living under my blessing. What lies ahead is not merely challenge, it is an invitation to go deeper into communion with me. What I give today will guide tomorrow. And when you look back, you will see every footprint of grace along the path you walked, each one a reminder that I was there, I am here, and I will always be with you. My beloved child, today I do not merely wish to comfort you. I desire to bless your life not with a fleeting word that brushes past your ears, but with a divine seal from heaven etched into your soul, saturating every step, every decision, and every breath you take. I bless you with resilience, not the kind rooted in hardness, but a strength that is soft yet unbreakable. It is the kind of power born in stillness, refined through tears, and ignited like a flame, though it has been snuffed out many times. You may stumble, but you are never disqualified. You may feel weak for a moment, but you are never defeated. For I have placed within you a spirit of courage, a heart that knows how to love, and a mind that discerns all given by my own hand. I see you in every silent battle no one else knows about. I see you pulling yourself up from falls the world has never witnessed. And you think you're weak, but in truth the steadfastness you're showing is proof of the strength I have placed within you. Every step forward, no matter how slow, is a declaration that you are not giving up. Know that I am right there, not waiting at the end of the road, but walking with you, upholding you, empowering you, and rejoicing in the faith that continues to burn within you. I bless you with spiritual eyes that see beyond the present. When others see failure, I bless you to see the lesson. When others see limitations, I show you potential. Every trial is no longer a hindrance, but an opportunity for your soul to be stretched, refined, and strengthened. See each obstacle as a coach, training you to grow stronger. View every season of waiting as a classroom where you learn patience and trust. You may not realize it, but in those very seasons of waiting, I am quietly renewing you, changing how you think, softening the sharp edges within your soul, and laying a foundation so that you can carry the greatness I am preparing for you. You are never abandoned in the silence. Each day that feels empty is in fact overflowing with heavenly preparation. I refresh your spirit with a renewal that doesn't come from circumstances, but from the fountain of life found in me alone. I bless you with a profound and unshakable purpose, a sacred calling that no situation can extinguish. You were not created just to make it through the day. You were made to shine in the dark, to plant seeds of hope in barren places, and to become living proof that I am still moving in this world. Nothing within you is accidental. No passion is random. Every dream, every gift, every hidden desire, they come from me, and they carry purpose. You did not come into this world by chance. You are a plan conceived before time began. I have written your name on the palm of my hand. Every breath you take, every day you live is wrapped in a divine mission that only you can fulfill. You need not compare yourself to anyone else, for your position is unique, custom designed, and intricately connected to those I will place along your path. I bless you with the courage to believe in yourself, not from arrogance, but from the understanding that I dwell within you. When you say, I am not capable, remember, I am the one who empowers. When you say, I don't know where to begin, remember, I am the way. When you say, I'm afraid to fail, remember, I am the one who upholds every firm step you take. I have not called you to succeed by human standards, but to be faithful according to heavenly ones. And each day I will remind you of truths. The world tries to make you forget that you are loved, not for what you do, but because you are mine, that you are chosen not because you are good enough, but because I am, that you are worthy not because of human recognition, but because of the price I paid in blood, and that you are influential not because of your strength, but because my spirit lives within you. I also bless your soul with stillness in the midst of noise, with discernment between what is urgent and what is eternal. I bless you to know when to pause and listen, when to be still and receive, and when to kneel and grow. When you choose silence over noise, you will hear my voice more clearly. When you choose to rest under the shadow of my wings, you will be restored. And when you choose obedience, you will enter a flow of unending grace, where every step is led by wisdom from above. My beloved child, life is not without unexpected storms, unannounced situations, unexplained losses, and invisible wounds. Yet in all of it, the one thing I pray you never lose is vision, the perspective of eternity, the light of truth I have planted within you. Do not let the storm cloud what I have declared over you. Do not let the winds of daily life sweep away your trust in my goodness. You may be hearing many voices, criticism, doubt, the whispers of the enemy trying to convince you that you're not enough, not worthy, or that you have nothing to offer. But child, those are lies. The enemy knows how precious you are to me, and he fears the day you realize it. He cannot steal my love for you, so he tries to make you doubt yourself, to abandon your destiny, to retreat from the battle before it even begins. I tell you today, shut your ears to every voice not from me, and open your heart to the unchanging truth. You are my masterpiece, not a draft, not an accident, not a substitute. You are a work of art sculpted by my own hands, every detail, every gift, every limit placed with divine purpose. You were not made to drift through life. You were made to accomplish the good works I prepared for you before the world began. You don't need to become like someone else. You only need to become yourself in my guidance, in obedience, and in faith. When you walk in that truth, you will no longer be shaken by human praise or rejection. You will no longer need to compare, compete, or strive for recognition, because you will know I have chosen you, and no one can replace your role in my eternal story. Let that truth fill you with confidence and courage, not pride but divine assurance. I bless you today, not with something vague, but with a specific and priceless gift, my peace. Not the false peace that comes from avoiding reality, but a peace that surpasses all understanding. A peace that remains even when the storm rages, when questions go unanswered, when the path ahead is unclear. It is the peace of Christ, the one who has overcome the world. You will discover that in this chaotic world, nothing external can truly secure your soul. But in my presence, there is a refuge no storm can destroy. When anxiety rises like a towering wave, when fear tries to take root in your heart like wild weeds, run to me. I am the King of Peace. I do not merely give peace, I am peace itself. You don't need to hold it all together. You don't need to pretend you're okay. You only need to come to me as you are, without masks, without hiding. In my arms, you are allowed to be weary, to break down, to weep. And when you do, I will do what no one else can. I will soothe your soul, not with hollow words, but with my healing and powerful presence. My child, let my peace fill every empty place in your heart, the spaces once occupied by anxiety, once claimed by fear. Let that peace become the loudest voice within you, louder than the whispers of doubt, stronger than the roar of the world. Let my peace remind you each day that you are safe, not because you are strong, but because I hold every one of your tomorrows in my hand, and you know what I am working even when you see no change. I am moving in what you call delay. I am preparing in the silence you call absence. There is not a moment I stand still, not a second I turn away. Right now, amid the chaos, you do not understand, I am weaving every fragmented thread of your life into something good. Do not measure me by how long you wait. Do not doubt me just because you have not seen the answer. I am not bound by your clock. I do not operate on your calendar, but I am always on time, heaven's time. And when that time comes, you will see that every bitter, difficult, hidden season you walked through was part of a glory and goodness greater than anything you could have imagined. My beloved, rest in my peace. Not resignation, but surrender. Not passivity, but trust that you do not have to fight alone. Let me be the first place you run to, not the last. Let me be the rhythm your soul returns to amidst the shaking of this world. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are being held steady in the hands of the one who never changes, the one who loved you from the beginning, who loves you now in the midst of trial, and who will love you until eternity. My beloved child, I bless you with joy from the realm of eternity, a joy unshaken by storms, unbroken by circumstances, and unfading with time. This joy does not stem from what your eyes can see or your ears can hear, but from my ever-abiding presence. Even in your most weary days, when your soul feels drained, when you wear a smile while your heart is breaking, I am the fresh wellspring rising within you. You don't have to wait for everything to be okay to rejoice. You can rejoice in the middle of the storm because I am in the storm with you. I stand with you not only in days of ease, but even when you feel most forsaken. I do not sit idly by while you suffer. I act even in silence, even in the places your eyes cannot perceive. Every time you think nothing is happening, remember I am arranging, moving within the unseen realm, preparing to reveal something glorious in my perfect time. I am never late, only unconstrained by the ticking of your clock. True joy is knowing that all things are being woven together for your eternal good by the wise hands of your heavenly Father. Today I call you to rejoice not only for the good that has already arrived, but also for the gracious good that is quietly taking shape within the heart of your life. Rejoice for the shoot that has not yet broken the soil but has already lifted a speck of earth. Rejoice for the dawn that has not yet fully flared, yet has brightened the horizon by a degree. That joy is not hung upon dazzling success, nor does it depend on anyone's applause. It is a rooted joy, a gladness that can look through the dark and see the quiet works of love at labor. Let your heart relearn a rhythm of rejoicing like mine, the rhythm of hope, of trust, of love without limit. When you see as I see, you will notice that even days that seem bleak are the embryo of something beautiful. I do not view circumstances with panic-stricken eyes. I see deeper than the surface, farther than the din. Therefore, do not allow fear to steal your spiritual sight. Look with eyes washed by faith where others see only desert, see the interrupted vein of water finding its way. Where others only see night, see the stars appearing clearer. Where others see only a full stop, see the colon opening a new sentence. I am the one who turns a season of ashes and weeping into a season of dance, who makes deserts into springs, who transforms tombs into gardens of life. Those transformations are not ancient legends. They are being enacted within you little by little. There are moments when you think the ashes are the end, but to me, ashes are merely material for a new beauty. As a potter works burned clay on the wheel, I gather the broken fragments of you with tears and light, then turn the wheel of mercy until a new form emerges. You may feel lost, yet in my hands loss is transmuted into the necessary space for good to take root. Let me be the chemist of your heart. I change bitterness into sweetness, heaviness into gentleness, proud self-reliance into humble freedom. The beauty that arises from ashes is not a restoration of the past as it was. It is something fresh, pristine, bearing the fingerprints of the part of your life that has passed through fire. So learn to rejoice in the process, not to wait until completion. Rejoice when you understand only a portion. Rejoice when you have the courage to take a small step. Rejoice when you are learning the art of waiting. My joy is not shallow. It matures like a vat of wine that needs time and stillness. When you count every small sign of life, an extra light in the night, a fissure in the ice, a door ajar, you are training the eye that recognizes. And that discerning eye is the gateway for peace to flow in, because it reminds you that I am still at work even when your sight is dim. Let your heart be like mine, full of hope, trust, and boundless love. My hope is not fantasy. It rests on my nature. I am faithful. My trust is not an avoidance of facts. It is the choice to view facts from the vantage point of eternity. My love is not limited by passing feelings. It is patient, enduring, and creative. When you allow those qualities to shape your inner reflexes, you will find yourself less reactive out of fear, less hasty in decision. You will begin to live as one who knows a larger story is being written, and this chapter, though hard, has its part. Do not let fear seize your spiritual vision. Fear has a loud voice, but it speaks to the wrong address. It knocks at your heart like a neighbor who exaggerates, leading you into dreadful scenarios that have not occurred. You may invite it to sit on the porch, pour it a glass of water, listen to its report, and then gently close the door and return to your work. You need not argue with fear. You only need to give hope some space. When hope is invited in, fear finds itself cramped and goes away. Your hope is not baseless. It takes root in my hand, the hand that has lifted you through storms. Remember that I am the one who turns a season of ashes into a season of dance. The dance does not mock your tears. It leads those tears onward. There are dances you learn only after the heart has known pain. The steps will slow, deepen, become more compassionate. You do not dance because everything is perfect, but because you discover another cadence amid the ruin, the cadence of gratitude. And when your feet begin to find that rhythm, your body feels lighter, your shoulders less burdened, your gaze gentler. That is when the season of ashes changes hue, not because the sky has altered, but because you have learned to open the door for light to enter the house. I am also the one who turns desert into springs. Desert is not merely geography. It is found in days when prayer feels dry and relationships that have grown barren and work that slips like sand through your hands. There you may think nothing can be salvaged. But listen, under the sand there is always an underground stream. I know where to dig wells. I bring you to small habits, a quiet pause, a deep breath, a word of thanks before a meal, an anonymous act of kindness, and from these small things, water begins to seep. A spring does not erupt with thunder, it whispers. Yet that whisper is enough for trees to green, for birds to return to nest, and for you to know the desert is shifting. And I am the one who makes tombs into gardens of life. A tomb stands for ending, for the helplessness before the irreversible. There you have buried dashed dreams, severed bonds, afternoons that will not return. I do not erase memory. I sow new seeds into that earth. One day, on soil that once only knew pain, you will see a young shoot emerge, thin leaves opening, and a flower unexpectedly exhaling scent. Not to deny the loss, but to testify that life is stronger than death, and love is stronger than fear. A garden of life does not obliterate the tomb. It embraces it and turns the tomb into part of its own source. You think ashes are the finish. With me, they are the beginning. Ashes are the trace of fire. Within ashes are mineral seeds that feed growth. I breathe a fresh wind over the ashes, mix them with soil, and a seed that seemed hopeless finds nourishment and rises. Likewise, past pain, when entrusted into my hands, becomes fertilizer for your compassion. You learn to bend more gently, to listen more closely, to touch more softly, and it is that softening that makes you more resilient than ever. What must you do to keep the rhythm of rejoicing in the process? First, train your eye to notice small goodness. Each morning, write down 3 things for which you are grateful. The more specific, the better. A clean cup, the shaft of light slipping through the curtains, a message from afar. At midday, pause for a minute to breathe deeply. Place your hand over your heart and whisper, I am growing. In the evening, review your day and find one moment when you chose love over reaction, an apology offered, space given, or simply listening without interruption. Those small practices are a protective fence for the joy taking shape. Next, let truth define your emotions rather than emotions define truth. When feelings ebb and flow, you can still stand on this foundation. I am here, faithful, unchanging. Record the chain of times I have kept you as margin notes in the book of your soul. Those gracious memories are the anchor points that keep you from being tossed by violent waves. Anchored in truth, you may weep without despair, worry without panic, wait without being exhausted. Third, dwell in community in ways that nurture hope. Find 1, 2, 3 people learning to rejoice in the process. Together you will pull one another from the quicksand of doubt. Share bread and stories read, promises aloud, hold hands in prayer. When one is weary, the others lift. When one forgets, another reminds. Collective hope generates heat that a lone flame struggles to keep. And in community you learn the new dance, the dance of thanksgiving and trust. Fourth, practice reliance and surrender. Give me the variables you cannot control so your mind has space to see the task before you. I do not take responsibility away from you. I remove the burden of playing God. When you release the impossible, your hands are free to do what is possible. A call to check in a page, to finish a needed nap. Surrender does not make you less diligent. It makes you diligent in the right places. Fifth, let imagination be sanctified. Fear seizes imagination to sketch tragedies. Hope uses imagination to outline possible good. Whenever your mind slips into worst-case scenarios, ask, if I know you are quietly doing good, what would that scene look like? Then picture it, a chance encounter, opening a way, a closed door, steering you toward a fitting path, a delay that brings the right person at the right time. A sanctified imagination is the loom I use to weave threads of joy into your life. Sixth, learn the rhythm of rest. Beautiful music needs rests. A beautiful life needs pauses. When you stop to breathe, walk the garden, or watch the clouds, you are not wasting time. You are adding oil to the lamp. The joy being formed needs fuel to burn. No one pours the oil of rest into your heart for you. Be intentional in pouring it yourself. You might set reminders, stand and stretch, drink water, slow down. This is how you show fear that it no longer holds the reins. Seventh, tend your language. Words are the frame on which the soul hangs its picture of reality. Speak phrases that nourish hope. I am learning. Not seen yet does not mean not happening. I am at work. There will be a way. Reduce complaints, for complaining withers joy's root. Instead, name the difficulty plainly and add a fragment of gratitude. As you change your words, your mind will shift perspective. When perspective shifts, your heart lightens. Eighth, learn to regard the ashes with reverence. Do not rush to sweep away painful memories as if to erase them, nor erect a shrine to them. Let them tell their story and then be turned into compost. You might write an unsent letter, place a small flower on the memory that still stings, or perform a kind act in remembrance. In doing so, ashes cease to be a period. They become the charcoal stroke that sketches a new face of courage. Ninth, keep going even slowly. You may move like a night walker, hand on the wall, feet feeling the ground, but still moving. I will not let you stumble over stones without a steadying hand. Each small step is a declaration, I believe. Faith is forged in such steady pacing. At some moment, dawn will not arrive like a flash, but as an obvious fact, the night has retreated. You will see you have gone farther than you imagined, simply because you did not stand still. 10th, share the joy that is forming with others. When you recount the small traces of good, a heartwarming coincidence, an unexpected help, a fresh insight, you double the light. Joy is not solely yours. It is an atmosphere created by many thankful hearts. In that atmosphere, seeds of hope sprout faster, trees of forgiveness grow stronger, and streams of peace run farther. Child, I know there are days you only want to curl up like grass leaves, sheltering from wind. I do not blame you. I embrace you. And when you are ready, I will whisper, now step with me. Joy does not coerce, it invites. It is patient like a mother helping a toddler learn to walk, fall and be lifted, cry and be soothed, stand and be praised, walk and be applauded. I do this with you every day. Allow yourself to hear that applause, not loud but warm enough to comfort. Do not mistake rejoicing in the process for denying hardship. No, it is how you acknowledge a reality larger than the difficulty. You can weep and hope at once, be tired and give thanks, be confused and still trust. Those seeming opposites dwell together in a mature heart. One hand holds the truth of the present. The other clasps the promise of the future. You walk between those open hands, not strained, but balanced. Let your senses serve the sanctified joy. Let your eyes seek green in a gray day. Your ears catch a bird among the noise. Your nose note the morning coffee. Your tongue taste the salt of tears as proof you are alive. Your hand rest on someone's shoulder to say they are not alone. Your body is the temple where I dwell. When you use your body to give thanks, you are turning ordinary life into an act of worship of hope. And when fear returns, it will return. Come back to this simple phrase, I am at work. Repeat it until your heartbeat slows. You do not need a perfect plan. You need one clear next step. I will show you that step. Call the friend, open the window, eat a nourishing meal, write 3 lines, nap 15 minutes, apologize to someone, forgive yourself. Those gentle steps are how you reclaim the light over the territory once claimed by fear. My child, I have never ceased the habit of working quiet miracles. Miracles often wear ordinary clothes, a pain eased just in time, a clear thought amid confusion, a meeting with the right person, a closed door that directs you to the right path. When you practice rejoicing in what is being formed, you will notice miracles earlier because your eyes have grown familiar with the subtle tones of grace. One day you will truly dance on ground that once ran with tears, not because the pain was not real, but because it no longer has the final word. You will name every season that passed, the season of ashes now a season of dance, the desert now a spring, the tomb now a garden of life. You will look at the ashes and smile, not a mocking smile, but a grateful one, because from them a flower has grown. You will know that every seed of joy was sown the day you decided to believe that good was being formed, and you tended it with small practices, with gentle choices, with tireless love. I am here patient, as at the beginning, continuing your story with tireless hands. Each day I add a sentence, correct a punctuation, open a passage, close a chapter. I am not hurried, for love is not hurried, nor am I slow, for mercy knows its time. You only need to keep living honestly close to me, and let your heart be soft before the light. I will take care of everything else. So, my dear one, rejoice now, not because everything is perfect, but because the good is alive amid all that is unfinished. Rejoice like a gardener seeing the first sprout, like a potter feeling the clay turn supple, like a traveler who smells rain before the storm. Rejoice because I, the transformer, am at work in your life, turning ashes into dance deserts, into springs, tombs, into gardens of life. And rejoice because ashes are no longer the period at the end, but the colon introducing a new sentence, the story of beauty being born right in my hands, right in your heart, right now. My beloved child, the new thing I am doing in your life is not a vague idea or a distant promise, but a reality already beginning to germinate in the soil where your eyes have not yet seen. The seed I plant once buried grows quietly, in its own fashion, unobtrusive, unostentatious, yet sure, and you need not fret whether it will rise. For the life within that seed comes from me, the creator of all things, and when the season arrives, the tender shoot will break forth green and vigorous, announcing a fresh beginning. This journey is not hurried, for every beautiful thing requires time to come to maturity, and what I desire you to learn is patient trust rather than panicked waiting. Tend your soul as a faithful gardener tends the plot. The gardener cannot force a seed to hurry, but he can prepare the soil, water, weed, and wait with hope. Likewise, you must care for your inner life through seemingly small but vital practices, whispered prayers, songs of praise, quiet moments in which your soul rests in me. Every time you choose forgiveness instead of resentment, every time you choose trust instead of doubt, you are cultivating that seed. So do not despise small deeds, for they are the nourishment of your faith. Do not let the world's murmurs steal your joy. There will be voices that sow doubt, scoffing tones that whisper you are deluded, and inner accusers that try to drag you back into old fears. But remember that no voice is greater than the word I have inscribed in your soul I am making. Something new, and that echo rings truer than any falsehood. So learn to be silent to the clamor outside in order to hear my gentle, persistent heartbeat within you. I complete what I begin. You are not the one ultimately responsible for finishing this work. That is, my task, what I invite you to, is cooperation without resistance or surrender. I never start and then abandon. And though you may feel weak and your faith may ebb and flow, I am steadfast and will not cease until the good and beautiful I intend are revealed in your life. For what I am doing in you is not merely wholesome but wondrous beyond your calculation and imagination. Believe that every season of your life has value, seasons of sowing, seasons of weeping, seasons of longing, and seasons of waiting are not meant to discourage you, but to deepen your soul. When the seed lies in the ground, it is dark and solitary. Yet it is in that darkness that miraculous transformation takes place. Do not fear the dark, for it is not the sign of death, but the environment, preparing life's emergence, and I am working in silence, even when you do not perceive. And at the appointed time you will see flowers bloom and fruit ripen, and know that no moment was wasted. Let your heart be filled with hope. Hope is not idle fantasy, but the power that anchors the soul and trains your gaze beyond present circumstances. I hope reminds you that I am faithful and will not let my promises fall to the ground without bearing fruit. And when you hope, you gain strength to walk day by day in peace, even before outcomes are visible, just as the faithful gardener continues to water and weed because he is certain the harvest will come. Therefore, keep your heart at peace, nurture joy, and wait with patient expectancy. I am doing something new, and it is not reserved for some distant future, but has already begun now. So you will not wait in vain, for the work I weave within you is good, beautiful, and wondrous, and one day when you look back you will see my hands marked on every step of your journey and smile in gratitude, recognizing that all things are made new in me. So my child, open your mouth and sing. Let laughter return to your home, not because everything is finished, but because you know who holds the future. When you choose joy over sorrow, you are testifying to the world that I am real, that I am the giver of life, that I am the unshakable source of joy. And when you live in that joy, you become an invitation to every weary soul to come and find fullness of life in me. I bless you with wisdom, not the wisdom of this world, but with divine insight to see things from heaven's perspective. When others see failure, I give you eyes to see opportunities for growth. When the world urges revenge, I teach you to choose forgiveness. And when you stand at a crossroads, I grant you discernment to choose the path that leads you closer to me, not further away. Wisdom is not knowing everything, it is bowing before me that I might direct your steps. Whether your decisions are big or small about family, work, the future, or just the words you speak in daily conversation, let everything you do reflect my name. Live as one who carries the light, for I have ignited that flame within you. And when you walk in my ways, you open the gates of blessing not only for yourself, but for everyone your life touches. My beloved child, I do not give you joy and wisdom as separate gifts. I give you myself, the source of all good things. When you abide in me, you lack nothing. Even if your surroundings remain unclear, your soul can still be radiant, because that light does not come from the outside, but from my spirit dwelling within you. And that is your assurance, your promise, your unshakable anchor. No one can take it away. So then go forward in joy, not because life is easy, but because you know where your refuge lies. Walk forward in wisdom, not because you are clever, but because you have chosen to listen to my voice in every step. Live each day as one who knows they are blessed, not in the way the world defines blessing, but in the way I do, a life rooted in me, used for my purpose and overflowing with my presence. And when others look at you, they will ask, how can that person rejoice when life is so hard? And you will be able to say, because he is with me. There is no greater testimony than a heart full of hope in the midst of trial. No proclamation clearer than a soul shining in the darkness. And nothing brings greater joy to heaven than a child who lives fully in their purpose, in joy, in wisdom, and in the unchanging love of their Father. My beloved child, in every moment when you know the path clearly, and when you walk through fog, seek my guidance first. Do not walk alone, my child. Do not rely on plans born only of human reason, no matter how logical they seem. For I do not just see the bend ahead, I see your whole journey from beginning to end. When you choose to be still and ask me, I will not remain silent. I will lead you not just to a good place, but to the best place, the place that fits your soul, the purpose I've placed in you and my glory. I grant you wisdom beyond the intelligence of this world. I don't just help you make hard decisions, I teach you to recognize the true voice among 1,000 false ones. In a world of noise, opinions, and conflicting standards, I give you ears that can hear the still, small whisper of the Holy Spirit. Discernment is a grace, and I give it to those who seek me. When you stand at a crossroads, don't worry if there is no sign. Remember, I am the way. I also give you constant provision, not only when you feel worthy, but even in your weakness, doubt, and confusion. For I am Jehovah Jireh, the Lord who sees and provides. I know what you need before you even call. You don't need to be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow is in my hands. Don't let worries over daily needs make you forget you follow a King, a Creator, who will never let you go without. Trust in me, you will never have to beg for bread in desperation. I don't just give enough, I give in abundance. Not just material provision, but a stream of life flowing through your soul, unceasing love, unfailing joy, unshakable peace, and heavenly goodness. True abundance is not measured by what you have, but by the fullness of your heart, when you know you belong to me. When you know you are loved, guided, and never abandoned, even in lack your soul is satisfied. And then, like an unending spring, you will become a well of refreshment to the dry souls around you. I also give you protection from on high, a covering no enemy can penetrate. You do not see all that is happening in the spiritual realm, but I do. I am fighting for you against schemes you're not even aware of. No poisonous word, no secret arrow, no slander or attack can touch your soul unless I allow it. I am a fortress around you, a wall of fire in my presence, a refuge that cannot be shaken. Even if everything else trembles, my protection will never break. Walk in that confidence, my child, not as one who is afraid, but as one sheltered by the King of Heaven. Even when you feel weak, remember your strength does not lie in muscle or mood, but in knowing whose you are. True strength is not in never falling, but in always rising again by my strength. And I am always here ready to renew you with courage, with light, with power to keep going. Never forget, my child, I do not bless as the world blesses based on mood or merit. I bless because I am love, and love never stops moving. Every time you need, the blessing is already prepared. Every time you seek, I have been waiting, and every time you fall, it is my love that lifts you up. So live as one under grace, not to boast, but to give thanks. Not to show off, but to become a witness of my kindness on this earth. You are never abandoned, never forgotten, never cut off from the source of blessing. Though circumstances change, people change, seasons change, I do not change. And when I say you are blessed, no one can take that from you. Live like one who is blessed, my beloved. Walk like one under heavenly protection. Lift your head as one with eternal refuge. And let all you do, everywhere you go, and every word you speak, be a living sign that you belong to me, and that I am the faithful one who blesses. I am with you today, tomorrow, and forevermore. Nothing, neither poverty, nor trouble, nor death, nor life, nor angels, nor powers, nor present, nor future, can separate you from my love and protection. Now, my child, lift your heart and offer your prayer from the deepest place within your soul, with honesty, humility, and a longing to draw near to me. Almighty God, keeper of every season of life, I come to you in the stillness of my soul, with empty hands and a heart that longs to be renewed. Please help me cast off the old habits, old wounds, old burdens that have clung to me for so many years. Cleanse my mind, heal the scars etched in memory, and help me let go of what no longer belongs to me. Lead me into the new season. You have prepared a season of faith, of hope, and of abundant life. May I trust your timing and walk steadfast in the grace you provide. My loving Father, the one who has never broken a promise, I bow before you, carrying a weary heart that still tries to believe you are at work. When I cannot see the way, please give me the eyes of faith. When fear rises, pour out your supernatural peace like a refreshing stream over my soul. Remind me that your promises are yes and amen, and that not a single word from your mouth returns empty. Even when I do not understand, help me to keep choosing to believe, to follow, and to love you with all my life. Father, the one who formed me so wonderfully and fearfully, I come not because I am worthy, but because I believe in your unchanging love. Help me no longer to doubt my worth, no longer to live in shame or comparison. Open my eyes to see myself as you see me, that I am a masterpiece created with eternal purpose. Cause me to walk as one who is chosen, called, and sent. May I live with influence, with gratitude, and with joy, knowing that my life has meaning in this vast universe. Faithful Father, who knows every beat of my heart, as I wait for a new season to arrive, guard my heart from weariness and discouragement. Teach me to be faithful in little things, to love even in the midst of pain, and to pray even when words seem dry. I place in your hands every waiting, every unfulfilled dream, every silent prayer. Soften my heart during the waiting, so that disappointment does not harden me, but that I may remain tender and ready to receive the good you bring in your perfect time, for I know you are never late and you never forget. O Lord, source of all that is good, I thank you for never leaving me in my darkest seasons. You embraced me when I thought I was alone and spoke love when all other voices were silent. Thank you for your presence that is always enough whether I can feel it or not. I know that without you, I would not be standing here. Thank you for never letting me go, even when I've let go of you. Thank you, Lord, of every season I give thanks for every season you've brought me through, even the hard ones. Thank you for not abandoning me halfway and for giving meaning to every stage. Every tear I've shed has been kept by you. Every sigh has mattered in your sight. I know that nothing I've walked through is wasted. Thank you for holding my hand not only on joyful days, but especially on the days when I had nothing left but faith. I offer this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so that together we may build a strong and faithful community.